Hey guys, it's me Ken and welcome to my channel wherein I will create informative travel vlogs which you can use on your next travel. In this video, i-share ko sa inyo yung personal experience and all the expenses I've spent during my trip to Singapore. From the accommodation, to food, even the transportation, and all the attractions I've been to. And finally answer the question, mahal nga ba ang magpunta sa Singapore? Though I didn't actually depart from Manila because I was in Thailand before going to Singapore, but at that time, the airfare from Manila to Singapore according to Cebu Pacific was around 2,943 pesos or around 70 Singaporean dollars. And Singapore to Manila was around 5,143 pesos or approximately 122 SGD. Though if you book early, you can even get a lower price because of the Piso Fare promo offered by Cebu Pacific. And of course, upon departure from the Philippines, you need to pay for the travel tax, which is around 1,620 pesos or 39 SGD. As soon as we landed and arrived in Changi Airport, we immediately secured our SIM card, which is around 409 pesos or 10 SGD. And by the way, binili namin yung SIM card namin sa Klook a day before we depart. The SIM card provider is Singtel, which is one of the best network provider in Singapore. The SIM card itself has a 14 or 28-day validity and has a 100GB data limit. The SIM card can be picked up at a Singtel booth at Changi Airport Terminal 3. They just need to scan the e-voucher provided by Klook. Then they'll provide you with a SIM card and a SIM ejector. If you're interested, I'll put the link below in the description box. To maximize our trip in Singapore, we purchased a 3-day Singapore Tourist Pass for 30 SGD. This includes a 10 SGD refundable deposit, which means the pass is only 20 SGD or 844 pesos. The Tourist Pass includes unlimited rides on public transport for the number of days chosen. The public transport includes Singapore's basic bus services, MRT, and LRT trains. And all of this can be purchased at Changi Airport Terminal 2. And all you have to do is to refund the card before you leave Singapore. The Changi Airport Terminals 1, 2, and 3 are connected by a free SkyTrain service. So if you wish to go to one terminal to another, you can do so by hopping on the SkyTrain. Though if you are in Terminal 4, it is not connected to the other terminals via SkyTrain. But you can still ride on the free shuttle bus service going to the other terminals, which is located at Terminal 4 Arrival Door 1. To proceed to the city center, we need to get on the Changi Airport MRT station, which is located below Terminal 2 and Terminal 3. The MRT lines you'll probably come across are the East-West line, North-South line, North-East line, the Circle line, the Downtown line, and the Thompson East Coast line. We actually booked our hostel 2 weeks before our flight, but unfortunately there was a problem at the place, so we had to cancel it 2 days prior to our arrival in Singapore. But the good thing is, there was an available hostel that we found on Agoda. It's a bit pricier compared to our original accommodation, but the price is really worth it. We stayed at ST Signature, which is a 3-star hotel and has 4 different branches across Singapore. Our branch is located at Jalan Besar beside Jalan Besar MRT station. The property consists of a few room types allowing single, couple, family, and friends to choose from. It also has a communal kitchen called Cook Lab with free coffee. There are also a lot of dining options within walking distance around the hotel. Our accommodation for a 3-person room for 4 days and 3 nights is around 443 SGD or 18,386 pesos, which includes a 50 SGD deposit that will be refunded to your card after your checkout. So in total is 393 SGD or 16,310 pesos divided by 3 is just 131 SGD or 5,437 pesos per person. Since late na kami nadating sa accommodation namin, we decided to grab our dinner at Gardens by the Bay. So we hop on the MRT and arrived at 9 p.m. Though the Gardens by the Bay is still accessible at this time, unfortunately there were no restaurants open and most of the areas are dark. So I don't recommend visiting late at night. We decided to look for a Chinese restaurant near our hostel and we found the Sweet Chun Dim Sum restaurant. I ate dumplings, pork chop and rice, and in total I spent around 13 SGD. The next day, we ate breakfast at a nearby Indian restaurant called Al Bizmi, located in Little India. We ate chicken fried rice and spent around 7 SGD. At lunch, we decided to eat at a Moss Burger near Dhoby Ghaut MRT station. Since I'm craving for both rice and burger at this time, I ordered beef yakiniku rice burger which cost me around 7.3 SGD, which also includes a drink. And at dinner, we decided to eat at a hawker center near our hostel. We ate at a stall called Char Grilled. We ordered pork satay and rice, which cost only 5.8 SGD. Another thing to remember is to always bring water wherever you go, because water in Singapore is quite expensive. The next day, we stayed in and ate cup noodles and bread that we bought at a convenience store nearby and spent around 4 SGD. Currently, our itinerary is mostly located in Sentosa, so we ate at the Malaysian Food Street, which is located near Waterfront Station in Sentosa. We ordered Penang Laksa, which cost around 9 SGD. And at dinner, we ate at Little India in a restaurant called Al Hussein, which is near our hostel. We ordered chicken biryani, which only cost us around 6 SGD. The next day, we eat the same breakfast, cup noodles and bread, which costs around 4 SGD. And at lunch, since we were in a hurry to finish our itinerary, we just ate at Daily Coffee at Singapore Flyer. We ordered Singapore's signature breakfast dish, the Kaya Toast and Coffee, which cost us around 10 SGD. Lastly, our dinner in Singapore, we ate at Changi Airport and looked for a restaurant that offered Singapore's signature dish, which is the Hainanese chicken rice, which cost around 7.5 SGD. So in total, our food in Singapore for 4 days is approximately 73.6 SGD or 3,054 pesos. We actually planned our trip weeks before we depart, and I made a detailed itinerary so that we can maximize our trip. The attractions we've been through are mostly purchased from Klook. We purchased a Klook Pass Singapore in which you can pick 3 attractions for a lower price. We chose Sea Aquarium, Flower Dome in Cloud Forest, and Singapore Flyer with Time Capsule. We specifically chose these 3 since these attractions are the most expensive from the choices and made us save a lot. And speaking of saving, you can use my promo code Kenji Nikolai to get 5% off when booking with Klook. The total cost of Klook Pass Singapore for 3 attractions is 4,476 pesos or 108 SGD. The Sea Aquarium, which is one of the world's largest aquarium and home to more than 100,000 marine animals. There can be a lot of people, that's why I recommend visiting on weekdays to avoid the crowd. It's really nice if you love marine animals and learning more about their different habitats, though if you're easily bored staring at fishes all day, the aquarium may not be for you. You'll probably spend 2 to 3 hours to explore all the sections of the aquarium, and make sure to wear light clothes and shoes since you'll be mostly walking the entire tour. The Flower Dome and Cloud Forest are both located in Gardens by the Bay. The Flower Dome is the world's largest glass greenhouse where the flower never stops blooming. It also contains over 1 million plants from 19,000 species. The temperature of the dome ranges from 23 to 25 degrees Celsius, so better wear something warm. You'll spend around an hour to explore the dome. While the Cloud Forest currently features the Avatar, which is the blue one, though I haven't seen the Avatar, I pretty much enjoy the tour as we explore the world of Pandora and the cultures of the Avatar. The Cloud Forest, home to one of the world's tallest indoor waterfall, With this much water, the cloud forest has a humidity of 80 to 90%, so expect a wetter feeling. You'll probably spend another 1 hour to explore the cloud forest. And the last attraction of the Klook Pass is the Singapore Flyer, which is probably my favorite. The Singapore Flyer ticket automatically includes a pass to the time capsule, which features an immersive experience of Singapore's past, present, and future, followed by one rotation on the Singapore Flyer, which is a giant observation wheel that stands 165 meters above, in which you can see the entirety of Singapore from the top. You'll probably spend around an hour to finish the tour, 30 minutes on the time capsule and 30 minutes on the wheel. Upon purchasing the Singapore Tourist Pass, we were given a booklet of the attractions with large discounts and promo codes. From here, we booked Marina Bay Sky Park and the Art Science Museum on an app called Native, indicated in the booklet. The Marina Bay Sky Park is 23 SGD and the Art Science Museum is 21 SGD. The Marina Bay Sky Park is an observation deck 56 stories high at the top of Marina Bay Sands with a panoramic view of Singapore. You'll spend up to 45 minutes here. While the Art Science Museum, an iconic cultural landmark of Singapore, is a large museum with 21 galleries by some of the world's best known artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Vincent van Gogh, Andy Warhol, and more. We spent most of our time at the Creative Aquarium where your drawings come to life. Most of the art here are interactive and educational, and you'll spend around 1 to 2 hours exploring all the galleries of the museum. Here are some of the free things you can do in Singapore. For those who love photography, Fort Canning Park is the perfect spot to take one. The Fort Canning Park has a 3-tunnel and a spiral staircase, which is a popular picture spot under the yellow rain tree. Though you'll need to line up and wait 20 to 30 minutes for your turn. Though we didn't actually go to the botanical garden, but it would be great to visit this not only because it is free, but since this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Going to Palawan Beach is completely free. This is probably my favorite part of our tour in Sentosa, since I get to chill by the beach and drink some beer while watching the sunset. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go to Universal because the only day we have available is a weekend. And a weekend in Universal is hell, with large amount of tourists everywhere. You have to queue 1 to 2 hours just to get on the ride. So if you plan to go to Universal, a weekday is better. The one-day ticket in Universal can also be purchased in Klook for 3,455 pesos. Though you can still take a picture in the famous Universal Globe for free. Due to time constraint, we were also not able to go to Merlion Park. Merlion Park can be visited any time of the day and is completely free. While going through all these attractions, I suggest purchasing a handheld fan or a neck fan because the climate in Singapore is dry and can get really hot. Bringing an umbrella and wearing a hat can also lessen the heat. And again, always bring water wherever you go as this can prevent heat stroke. So in total, I've spent 25,754 pesos or 618 SGD for 4 days, covering all my expenses here in Singapore. This is rather cheap compared to all the places I've been to. Now, to answer the question earlier, mahal nga ba ang magpunta sa Singapore? Well, this question is quite subjective, but in my opinion, the answer is no, since there are lots of free things to do in Singapore and the food is quite cheap if you look close enough. This video took a lot of time to edit, like no joke, it took me nearly 3 months, and I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up or maybe subscribe to my channel, especially if you're into traveling. Well, that's all from me. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Bye!